No, we gotta talk about Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay, Winnie the Pooh. Okay.
Because you were so wrong, and I have to announce it to the world.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. So this is the Morning Breeze.
With Pants?
And Baker. So this topic is very important to me today because I was having a conversation with my friend Pants here this morning, and he was trying to tell me that Winnie the Pooh originated from like some nonsense poetry that was like written about Winnie the Pooh that some of you people probably know about, but I don't really care. And I said, no, wrong. Winnie the Pooh was a stuffed animal, and he was telling me, no, Winnie the Pooh... Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off track here. He was telling me that the creatures from the woods were not stuffed animals. And I said, no, all the characters from Winnie the Pooh were stuffed animals in Christopher Robin's room, and everything's in his imagination. Which is slightly wrong, but still more correct than the fact that the animals were not stuffed animals. Okay? And that's the point that I really need to make here about Winnie the Pooh. Because it's important to me that he knows he's so wrong about a character that was invented by Disney. And that's not true either. But seriously, something everyone needs to do. Go to Wikipedia, look up the author.
A. Milne. If you're having trouble spelling that, because I'm not gonna, I'll put it in the comments, the description below. All right, you can look there, or just look up Winnie the Pooh. All right, just period. It'll lead you through. So yeah, what I remember, flashbacks by you. I was homeschooled.
No. I need to touch on why you need to look up this picture, and then you can tell your terrible tale about your childhood. This picture was so creepy. It was like, oh my god, I know why this guy wrote children's stories. Because he wanted to touch them. Like, this picture is of him with a little boy in his lap.
His son,
and it is the creepiest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. It is so creepy. Please leave me some comments to confirm that this is, like, seriously a creepy ass picture.
Look up the picture, but I just want to, you're right, because imagine no beard, okay? It's hard, I know, but...
Are you seriously trying to do the face right now? I really hope that comes out as creepy as it was in his photo.
I hope so too.
Okay, now regale us with the tale of your childhood.
Bam. When I was young, my parents had this book. Mom, if you leave a comment down below, Mom, give me the full title because I'm having trouble finding it now, which leads me to believe I'm horribly wrong here. But 2 books of poetry, one prior to Winnie being the Pooh, and one after. I'll explain this, okay? So there's one book of poetry, presumably was written from their vacation house, from holiday, because they were out on holiday. And Pooh, at this point, is a swan, okay? So swan lives out in the lake at the vacation house.
Who at this point is a swan? Oh, okay, no, I'm sorry. I can't interrupt your story. I was, like, really mad at you for calling the bear a swan, but this is, okay, this is how he gets called.
Alright, and presumably the London Zoo had a black bear they would see a lot, which led Christopher Robin to pursue getting a teddy bear and naming him George originally.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, George originally. Named him George after the King of England, which this is what I remember from the poetry, because the teddy bear had a complex because he thought he was fat like the king. And he would stand in front of the mirror and be like, oh, bother.
That's his catchphrase.
Okay. So, but then eventually the bear at the zoo was named Winnie. So they changed the bear's name to Winnie. And then when they moved, after the vacation house, wasn't really moving, going back home, they had the 100-acre woods right outside. And they decided, in honor of the swan, not in memory, in honor of the swan, because he was still alive at that point, they changed the teddy bear's name, not just Winnie, but Winnie the Pooh.
Because, like, Pooh is beautiful, apparently. That's yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know. I still don't understand that name. It doesn't make any sense to me.
The poetry book talks about lions and tigers and a bear, and a slug and a donkey and a pig and rabbits all over the place. All these things are mentioned. I had this understanding.
And by the way, he also tried to tell me Eeyore didn't exist in the originality of Winnie the Pooh, which is just the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever heard about. He's like, oh, there was a donkey, but it wasn't Eeyore. And I was like, nonsense. Pure nonsense, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody knows Eeyore is like classic Pooh.
I'm all about people finding out. Make up your own mind if you want to. You can try to track down this book that my mom's going to leave a comment about down below, Mom. Okay. Matter of factly, Christopher Robin did have stuffed animals. That was, what did we see? A kangaroo, a donkey.
They said it was Roo, it was Tigger, it was Piglet, it was Eeyore, and it was Pooh. Those are the originals. Actually, I don't know if Tigger was an original. He might have been an invent, but I will never leave Tigger out because he is just
yeah,
no, not that.
Okay. So, long story short, I was wrong.
Thank you. Now I've documented proof. Wrong.
I said it right here. I was wrong. I don't say it too often.
And actually, if we're gonna start recording, he will say it very often because I will prove him wrong almost always. Largely because I'm stubborn and rather stupid, and that's...
But we're about the truth here on the Breeze and the Trees Network, and we're going to bring you the truth as much as we can. Subscribe down below. Leave comments. What should we be talking about? Should I change my shirt at some point? It's starting to stink. Talk to me. I'm Pants.
I'm Baker.
Peace.
About 6.5.
Really?
Yeah.